Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Siam Reap, Cambodia. So, Dara, if you are there, and Vanita, okay, let me accept your request. I'm accepting. I'm okay. It says you are joining.
Okay.
Ah, yes, that's perfect now.
Okay. Just
Okay,
now
I
there
don't
was
know what.
just now
Sorry,
there was this picture of this one guy. I don't know what was the deal.
which guy?
When they asked me to click and then join S, and then it was like my name, and then there was another guy called Kaduk or something like that. So that's why
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where Vanita is because she's supposed to join us, but I see she's not even in my friends list anymore. So I don't know what's happening. Okay. Uh, anyway, so I hope you are okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So just for I don't see anybody watching yet, but because I will record this and then later I will put it unedited. I'm putting it on YouTube.
Okay,
Because
can.
what I do is it's educational, so I try to keep it as organic and unedited as possible. Okay.
Sure, no
Yeah.
problem.
Okay, so
Wait,
just to give.
I'll just switch on another light. Wait, hold on.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to talk about the Miss Universe, especially the Singapore Miss Universe
Mm.
2024, the new rules. Now, there's many aspects of these new rules that I want to talk about because, there's so many things that they've changed. Um, so first of all, would you like to introduce yourself again for
Oh,
those who don't know you?
hello everybody. My name is Dara. Um, I've been doing this a couple of times with Celeste. We talk
Mhm.
about transgender issues or trans women's topic in particular, not transgender only, trans women's
Trans women.
topic. Yeah. So, and I'm back at Celeste's invitation. So, uh, we'll talk about another latest trans woman topic today. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just tell me, what do you know about? I mean, because afterwards I will read the new rules. But what
Mm.
have you heard about the what's happening in Singapore with the latest Miss Universe
Yeah.
registration and pageant?
Actually, the news I have known before because it was announced. I think after the last Miss Universe, I think it was announced that they are opening it to more uh, criteria of women.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Particularly that time, it was like the married women, older women, and few other things, and also transgender women, so or trans women. So I have known of this before. So, and of course, when Singapore announced that Patricia was joining, so I wasn't very surprised because I knew now the Miss Universe rules have included transgender.
mm-hmm.
For that matter, this year's uh, Miss Universe India had 3 transgender trans women in the pageant. So it didn't surprise me at all because, like, I know I have heard that they have changed the rules to include this criteria of women. Lah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, for me, because my understanding about Miss Universe, because, I don't really follow it. I have no interest, but just because, I'm doing this kind of work now, but normally I'm not interested in beauty pageants at all. Um, but my understanding was that, yes, it was the Miss Universe rules, but then from country to country, they also have their own rules. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you'll see, like let's say there'll be some countries that they it doesn't matter what Miss Universe rules are, they don't really stick to it because they
I'm
have their own
I'm
society,
not
so they
aware of that. I'm not aware of that. It's just that I think I'm quite sure the Singapore rules are based on the general Miss Universe rules. I mean, if you are
Mhm.
talking about certain country having certain rules, that would be like, for example, Malaysia. They will
Yeah, that's
they
what I
will
mean.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, they will have like Muslim cannot take part and things like that.
Yes, yes.
And of course, for Malaysia, because Muslims cannot take part, and then it will be very obvious that transgender cannot take part either. Because
Hmm,
if
hmm.
you read the rules, particularly in the Singapore one, which I am quite sure very similar to the general Miss Universe, it says that you are female, identify as female, right?
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So
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 okay.
yeah. So in Singapore, it has been like that all this while. The moment you have a sex reassignment surgery, Singapore government will recognize you as female.
Hmm,
So that's
hmm.
why it's not a. I think it's not a
Sure.
big issue for those people over there, for the trans women over there. Uh, Unlike here, even if you're non-Muslim, you will not be recognized as female. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay,
uh,
yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because that actually applies in many countries. Because you see,
yeah.
that is why I'm thinking Singapore, I don't know if they're being honest, really, because, Singapore, they pride themselves in having very good understanding of the English language. Because it says here, you must be legally recognized as female. So they use the word female on forms of official documentation, such as identification cards and passports. Now,
Mm.
if that is written in black and white and that is a rule, then that would mean trans women cannot participate because most countries will read it as that because that is why they use the word female as to
Uh,
differentiate between
but
between
I
women.
don't. Yeah. You
Because
see,
even I spoke to a few doctors and they were saying, yes, when you use the word female, you are specifically using the dictionary definition. See, this is why
yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't think Singapore is being sincere in, they're making
Uh, uh, no,
loopholes for
I don't think
themselves.
it's a loophole, Celeste. Because the trans women friends that I know in Singapore, they are
Mm-hmm.
legally classified as female. So the
Yeah,
government,
that's what I'm
uh,
saying. So it's either that the Singapore government is not recognizing the language because in the language female is of or denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs distinguished biologically by the production of gametes over blah blah, all that, which is the universal
yeah,
thing. So so that is why I'm saying, why I'm want to bring this to people's attention is because trans people must be very aware of language when they are dealing with this kind of thing. When when governments are making legislation, sometimes they don't use the correct language, and because when the correct language is not used, this is where the people can, you know what I mean? This is
but
where.
I think this is I think for like the the identification purposes,
Mhm.
Singapore government has decided to recognize trans women as female. I think that will be not an oversight or whatever. It's just that the government's choice to not
Do not follow the
discriminate.
language.
No, I mean,
Yeah. No, but I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, but language is
because
one thing.
I'm
You know, I mean,
worried that
language. Let,
the problem will be, let's say, if the problem will arise, let's say, women's rights activists are going to fight this. They are going to use that, That is
yeah, but the thing is that
why.
but the thing is that at the moment, I think, the moment Miss Universe made the announcement, there hasn't been any objection
Uh-huh.
from any particular group. You
But I
know,
think
so
there's going to be now. That's
okay,
why I know there's going to be now.
if there's gonna be, then probably they might follow the dictionary definition lah. But but then I know, uh, to me, I think Singapore is benevolent. I mean,
Uh-huh.
as much as it is in like Australia also, I think, and maybe some Western countries, the moment you have reassigned, they will automatically not discriminate you as being who you were, but just assign you as female, regardless whether you were born male or not. Because I think that is all that matters at the moment. Like we have said this before, the reason why it has always been so difficult was because people are trying to not accept the fact that these transgender now are female, living as female, but then now that they have accepted, I think to me, it's just like a wonderful thing. It's no more like we make an exception, we'll
Mhm.
just recognize you as female. So, I mean, I guess if you say that there will be some feminist group
Yeah, there
who will
is,
be
because there's
upset
already talk. There's already talk because I think, like, for me, what I would say is they have to change the language. You
to
know
what?
what I mean? Because they are going to lose on on using the word female. They're going to lose on that. But if they had to use like it's open to example, women and trans women example, then no one can argue, because everybody knows what's a woman. Well, in our
Mm.
countries in the West, they don't know what a woman is. They're still trying to figure out what it is.
So instead of
But you know
using
what I
the word
mean? Because
female,
because
instead
that's
of
why I say
using the
they're
word,
making
yeah.
loopholes.
So probably maybe what you're trying to say is, instead of using the word female, which applies biologically, they would put their
They would win in
whoever
that on
women,
that point.
the the word will be women instead of female. Yeah, I guess it could be done. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just feel it's too ambiguous. No, it's not even ambiguous. It's just a fact. You know what I mean? Like that is why even when you do visa applications, they will say male, female, and other.
Yeah.
Because male is male, female is female. Then other, you can put whatever you want. But
I don't know. Yeah. I
yeah,
don't.
I travel.
Is
I
there
have
is there an other? Is there an other
yeah.
for visa application?
Some countries have. Some countries have. Like
Yeah.
my Schengen
But
visa.
yeah, but I guess, Celeste, the point that they are making is that they do not want to prolong the discrimination. That's
Yes,
why
and
they
that
would,
I
I mean, instead
understand.
of, like even on forms like that, they will put like women and trans women, So I mean that will still prolong the discrimination, because like in Miss Universe, their number one motto now is inclusivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
But I still think they are still discriminating though. Miss Universe is always going to be, they are always going to discriminate because, like example, I can't participate. So they're still discriminating because I am not
why
one, my height, they are still discriminating. My friend who is disabled also cannot participate because she's disabled. So the
yeah,
discrimination is always going to be there. And if you know, in the world, there are more short women than trans women. You know what I
I
mean?
think
If I want to be the
yeah,
devil's advocate,
but I don't
they're
know.
not.
Maybe in 5 years' time they will lower the height requirement. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, this is just. I'm just being devil's advocate here, and just telling you because I know what is being talked about at the moment. You know, with the women's rights groups. Wait, I just where's the? I want to see the. I just had it now. Now I don't know what I did with it. The rules, Miss Universe registration. Oh, I lost it now. Okay, so I want to go over some of the others. Now, this is just pertaining to Singapore. So, like I said, my
Okay.
first worry that I have with this is that, like I said here, the language is going to cause a problem. I can already see that because people are already fighting about, like, especially even with the visas. The other day when I was applying for my visa, there was a big fight in the embassy. I'm not going to mention which embassy because you know I need to go apply a visa again for that country, and I don't want them to think I'm talking bad about their country. But even
Okay.
there there is no option. You can only be male or female. They don't care about anything else.
So
They don't
probably
care.
that's why. So probably that's why for this matter, Singapore not only with regards to the Miss Universe, Singapore in general, uh, has only two genders on their identification, male or female,
Mm-hmm.
because if they, so if Singapore itself, the government itself has only made it clear that there's only two genders, male or female. So I guess this Miss Universe Singapore is just following what is already stated in the government, right?
Right.
You know, I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
let's say if there is like Mr. Universe, and then we have a trans man wanting to
Or me,
compete.
or I can just say I'm a man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If they want to participate, then they just male.
but no, but you are not legally identified as male. You see, you have to understand that Singapore, the
Yeah, yeah, understand. It's
identity,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so the moment your ID says you're female, so legally you are recognized as female. So I think there is I mean that's why it goes on like that. You know, I mean it is allowed, not allowed. I mean, no, it has it has been given the allowance to go like that.
Right. Yeah. Yes, but that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying the problem is not with discriminating against people, whatever. The problem is that Singapore is using the language incorrectly, which at the end of the day is gonna bite people in the backside because of that.
Okay.
Because of that.
But
Because like for
but
example,
yeah.
if that person is unconscious in the street and they are registered as female and they rush this person to the hospital and there's like 5 minutes for this person left to live, and because this person has been wrongly diagnosed as female and so they're looking at the wrong things and then this person dies, it eventually it's gonna come to bite them in the backside in the future. That I can see. I can tell you
But
that
then,
now.
like as far as I know, Singapore has been legalizing trans women as female, not only
Mhm.
recently, and not only with the announcement of Miss Universe. Like so many, like even during our boom boom time, which is like 30
Mhm.
years ago, the transgender in Singapore has always been uh, recognized as female, especially if they have gone through the SRS. So I
Right.
mean, yeah, I mean like we are hoping that nothing drastic will happen like what you imagine now,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
But
and
then
like why I'm
if
telling you this
if
is because, like I say, I am hearing all these things.
yeah, but then the fact that I know by legalizing trans women as female in Singapore, it hasn't been like so dramatic and as like you think it would be.
Yeah,
You
at the
know, I mean,
moment. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. You know, I mean, if
Yeah,
if
no, I
if they
get
have
your point.
if they if they have if they have been successful for the last 30 years, I think I mean that's how long I know they have, but I think they
Right.
have legalized even longer than that. The moment there was like some, I don't know, but then the one that I know is like from 30 years ago, they have been legalizing trans women as
Yeah,
female. So
yeah,
there hasn't been like any drastic incident. So I guess I don't know,
yeah.
they should
It's
be
just because
okay
things
lah.
are changing. I don't know if you've noticed. Things
What
are changing. I don't know if you've noticed. Things are changing.
what are changing?
Like in sports, in society. So that is why now it's becoming, like you said, 30 years ago, it was not an issue. These things are now becoming an issue, especially now with, like, you see so many, like, look at the Hollywood actors now. All of them have at least one or two children that are transitioning. You know, they
Yeah,
transition, then they detransition, and then they transition, then they detransition. It's like, so it's becoming an issue. It was never an issue. I mean, I know, Thailand is my second home. It's not a big deal in our parts of the world, but because the West they are making it, they have started making it such an issue that it's become, especially they're activists. It's not like in Malaysia, everybody just lives, like, this is what I am and I love, and people accept,
no,
don't accept, I
Malaysia is
live my
worse.
life.
Malaysia is worse. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
in
I mean, like,
Malaysia, I don't
I
see
think,
people
I think,
fighting. I don't see people fighting in the streets.
well, I guess that has got nothing to do with, I mean, the issue here, the transgender, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I
transition.
don't see transgender people fighting in the streets, uh, knocking down people because they are misgendering them and all that. People are,
I think that
transgender
one
people are
would,
just
I think that
relaxed.
one would not be because of transgendering. I think that is the woke thing, right? Because like
Yeah,
everybody who says they identify as the opposite sex wants to be recognized as the opposite sex. And I think we have talked about this before
yeah, yeah,
in our
yeah,
last thing. You cannot just like wear a wig, put on the
yeah.
makeup, and then say I'm a woman, right? So but the thing is that in the US that I have read or I have seen, those are the people that are causing the or misrepresenting or misusing the issue or the
Mm-hmm.
identification, uh, because like if it was a trans woman, like in the US, let's say if you're a trans woman, I have friends who are trans women in the US. They are like in Singapore, officially recognized as women, and they have gone through marriage, and they are just being like one of the female,
Yeah,
uh,
just normal.
uh, yeah, So the one that you're talking about is not related directly to trans women. They are
Mm-hmm.
the woke group
Yeah,
who wants to be identified. Then you must recognize me as that, which is not correct, lah. You know what I mean? So, but then like back to the Singapore one, the Singapore thing,
mm-hmm.
Singapore will only award or recognize or allow give give the approval to be
Mm-hmm.
recognized if they have gone through the surgery and everything else. So they are not like oh, just because you want to just because you are like looking like a woman, then we will change you to female. No, Singapore
Right,
is
right.
like you have to go through all the necessary procedure,
Like
because
in
there are a
Iran.
lot of friends in Singapore that are also transgender, but they are not trans women yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
who has not
those days we
who
used
has
to
not
say transvestite and transsexual.
yeah, so those people, their identification will still be male. Singapore.
Mm,
So I guess in that sense, after Singapore is doing a thorough identification, not just because someone wants to be known as female, then they say, okay, fine, so that if someone goes through the proper procedure and channel,
right.
I think it won't be an issue. But then when you mention about the US, it
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with trans women. It is more like just people who just wants to be identified as, which is like what we have said before, not really the way
Not
to
really.
do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Okay, but so that's one part of that. But that I just wanted to talk
Yeah.
about, so that the people who I normally have to talk about, they can hear from you.
Uh,
Because I also always say the thing with trans being a trans woman is it's a procedure. It's not you just I feel like I am, so I am.
yeah.
No, you feel like you are, but then there's a process that you have to go through. And also because, like we mentioned before, because it comes from a dysphoria. Like in Singapore, I know you have to go for psychological evaluation. That's like step one before you can even think of going through all the other things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing they also said here now is, which I'm very happy about, is you must be at least 18 years of age by January the 1st, 2024, which means there is no age restriction after 18. So like even 60, you can still participate. So
I can participate also if I'm Singaporean.
yeah, I was thinking I'll participate. If it's if
Yeah.
it's if it's in South Africa, I will go back and I'll participate. I mean, what do I have to
Yeah.
lose? Nothing
Yeah.
to lose.
Exactly.
Okay. The only problem
Exactly.
is you must be at least 168 cm in height. Now I
Yeah.
don't know if that is in bare feet or in high heels. If it's in high heels, I can do it because
I
I'm
think it's bare.
164.
I think it's bare feet. I think
Yeah,
it's
so
bare
you
feet.
see, so that's discrimination because uh, 50%, at least 50% of people are below of women are below 168 centimeters.
Mm.
So they are discriminating against at least half of the population of women in the world. So that's a big discrimination. That's like the biggest discrimination because they are blatantly saying for their beauty standard, the petite woman is not considered beautiful. So
That,
this I
yeah.
know is gonna also be a problem. It's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Like I said, the
I don't know.
female, this is
But
gonna come up.
but then if you if you since you're saying that this problem will come out, Miss Universe has been around for the last 70 years, and they have always had the minimum height requirement.
Yeah, but they've
For that
also never
matter,
had trans people, and they've never had.
yeah.
They always
So
had age
probably
restriction. You
yeah.
see, they stopped.
So probably they will change that. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
if they so decide, then even more
yeah, because if it's
inclusiveness.
inclusive, yeah, then they have to. Because also
Mm.
the average woman is 5'5".
Yeah,
So they are not.
168 is one.
So they are saying, I'm not.
168 is
We
56.
don't want average women. Yeah, they don't want average women. They don't want like if you average, you are not considered beautiful. Well, for that
Well,
standard.
I guess,
Okay,
okay, wait. I guess if you're average, you're beautiful in your own way. But if you want to be
but
a
not in Miss
beauty,
Universe
wait,
way.
but if you want to hold a beauty title, which is quite stringent actually, to be beautiful. I mean, it may sound trivial, but and a lot of people would think that beauty is so trivial, is so selective. But then to me, I feel that it takes effort to be beautiful, to look beautiful, as much as it takes effort to be an athlete. You know what I mean? And as an athlete, let's say for example, if you are like, I have seen, but I'm not very sure, but I've seen that if you are going to be a boxer, you have to be of a certain weight to be a boxer, you know. So if you're not of that certain weight, then you won't be qualified. You are not qualified to be in the competition as a boxer. So there comes the issue about weight, you know. So um, so that's what I'm trying to say is that to us, to many people, why do you discriminate the height in the beauty pageant? But then on the other hand, if we think about it, why do you discriminate someone who's lighter, and then you won't allow that person to box, to be in a boxing match, you
No,
know?
but there are,
So
because boxing has weight categories. That's why you have featherweight, welterweight,
yeah,
heavyweight. No, you
so
can.
so
There's
so
a
so
category for everybody.
yeah. So why? So then why isn't it being questioned? Why is it not being questioned that, or why do you have to have few different weights in boxing
Because of
when,
safety.
yeah. So the safety is like the benchmark. So that is
Right.
in sports. Yeah, that is in sports, you know. So that means if you want to reach to a certain benchmark, then you have to like strive to be able to reach that benchmark as in weight for that particular
Mm-hmm.
sport. But in beauty, the benchmark is your height. You know, I mean, this is how I feel. You know, I'm not saying that shorter people are not beautiful. It's not. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just that the benchmark for a like international competition of beauty, because beauty, to have a title, a beauty contest title, it is sort of like a a, and you have to put in a lot of effort too. You know what I mean? Uh, like I said, it is something that you would want to achieve. Like you have to work on it. You know. But then that's what the thing. A lot of people don't think that there's much work to be done if to be in a beauty contest, which is not true. You know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the height is just a benchmark. It's not like a discrimination or whatever. uh, but then there are competition for shorter people. They call Miss Petite, a Miss, like a petite pageant competition. Have you heard of it?
No, but look, if it's Miss Universe, it means all women.
Yeah, but then the
But
thing
even
is
again,
that
I have an issue with the title of Miss, because now they are also including married or divorced women. So it's not Miss anymore. It can be Mrs. It should be Miss,
yeah, I
Mrs.
know.
And then, I mean, you could be a trans man, because a trans man can also participate because he's still legally female. You know what I mean?
If
If,
well,
if
if
yeah.
that person,
So
if the
then it's
trans man,
Miss,
okay, wait, if the trans
Mr.
man,
Miss, Mrs.
okay, if the trans man's identification is
He's
still
female.
women,
Yeah.
female,
He can
yeah, he
participate.
can still participate for
Yeah.
sure. But does he meet the criteria of the beauty standards that they want?
So this is the thing. Who sets the beauty standards?
See,
Who's to say
that's the
what is
thing.
beautiful?
See, that's the thing. I feel like in Miss Universe, they have the rights to set their beauty standard because it is how they want it to be. You see, as in many beauty pageant also, you know, because like there are beauty pageant that looks for that, like they call it like Miss Jumbo or whatever. So those are like for overweight people, you know.
Mm-mm.
And then like the Miss Petite, there is a Miss Petite universe, where anyone that does not qualify in height for the regular Miss Universe or Miss World, then they will have the opportunity to feel, uh, by taking part in this Miss Petite. You know, so like the boxing criteria, again, there are different criteria if you want to participate. You know, it's just that, so that means if Miss Universe wants to keep their height as 168, it is just fulfilling the criteria that they have set. Because if you don't fall into that 168 and above, then there is a Miss Petite for you to take part. It may not be organized by the same group that organized Miss Universe, but it is as pretty prestigious, you know.
Yeah, I
So
don't know. I've never even
so
heard of
yeah,
it.
there is
Okay.
Miss Petite.
So then,
You know.
okay, but then why is there no weight category? Because Miss Nepal 2023
Yeah,
was a
what?
fat lady.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So, so
so
that is
so
what I mean. They don't discriminate against weight. It's only height and disability. Only those two.
yeah. I guess if they want to have a disability competition, then they can always have Miss Paralympic or whatever, Miss
No,
Para.
but I mean, a woman is a woman, right?
I don't
But
know.
a woman is a woman. Isn't that what they're trying to say? We don't discriminate. Women are all women. So if women, if if trans women are women, then a disabled woman is a woman, a short woman is a woman, a tall woman, a woman
Mhm.
is just a woman, a married woman is a woman, a single woman. Then there should be no discrimination. Either they have to set it like they used to before, where it's very specific, or they have to include everybody. You see, that's why the Victoria's Secret flopped when they tried to become diverse and inclusive. You see, it's not even running anymore because no one wants to go and look at these new angels. They were, what's that girl, the Jonas Brothers' wife, the Indian girl. Nobody wants to see her. That's not an angel's body. You know, we don't. The Victoria's Secret angels, they have that specific look. It's like sausages from a sausage coming out of a sausage factory. Everybody looks the same.
So probably I don't know. I mean, like, as much as I think, in for me, in conclusion, as much as all this inclusivity sounds good, it needs to be reevaluated eventually
Yeah,
lah, you know. So when it is reevaluated, then we will know whether what is being done now or what has been decided now serves its purpose or not. But
yeah.
then at the moment, I would commend. It is commendable that they people do
They're
take the
opening it up a bit.
initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
mean,
can foresee they're gonna run into trouble because even their last thing, I'm just talking about Singapore because I don't know the actual Miss Universe. It says here, this person must be able to personify all the values and attributes of being Miss Universe Singapore. This includes confidence, strong work ethics, commitment, professionalism, talent, grace, and beauty. So all of that is so subjective.
mm-hmm.
So what is the Singapore? So actually what is written here is the Singapore standard, because maybe if I read the Nepal standard, maybe in theirs they would say you don't have to be of any weight. Because for Singapore,
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
sure no fat lady is ever going to be chosen in the competition. But because I don't know, I've not looked at the Nepal guidelines
Yeah,
or rules, So, but I'm just talking because I have the Singapore one in my hand, and because of Singapore, I know has allowed, they are allowing trans women. I know Nepal. I'm just talking about Nepal because I was there recently. They still don't allow it. They won't allow it because their women they're trying to empower their women. So they're focusing, and I mean really when I say women, I mean on their
mm,
females, because their
okay.
females are lacking behind, the progress in the culture. So they're trying to create more job opportunities, so they're trying to keep it very separate so that women can grow. So I know they're not gonna be following that one. But that's why I say I'm just focusing, and even look like Malaysia. Like you said, Malaysia will never have it because they're not gonna register any trans person as female or male, and Muslims are not allowed. Yeah, so but like I said, I'm just taking Singapore because
I guess
this is what's
Singapore is a
happening.
bit more. I guess Singapore would be like the most can be viewed as the most progressive in this region, in the Asian region,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Or not, I
commendable.
would say progressive. I would say more westernized. They align more with Western values than like
I
Thailand.
won't, I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't localize forward thinking mentality lah, you know, because when you say westernized, so people would immediately think like Europe and US, you know. But then for me it's more like what was the word I used?
It's a progressive.
uh, Progressive, you know. It's not because progressive doesn't really mean it's westernized. It's just like an old mentality that says, oh, you are so westernized just because you're progressive. But then if
But
you think
in
about it,
this instant, this is very West. This is a very Western, because even China won't have this.
we will not know. We won't know because this ruling has just been out, and
Yeah, I don't think the age
China
thing. You
hasn't.
think China will age? They will for sure put age restriction, and especially the
I
marriage.
I,
A lot of
I don't
countries, I
know.
think the age and the marriage thing, they will,
I mean,
because
but
they
at
don't want to
least
see old
yeah,
women on stage in
yeah, but
swimsuits.
then they're not saying that you are old and you don't look beautiful. What if you have a 60-year-old and she's still beautiful? You know, I mean,
Yeah,
because
no,
that's the mentality when you think about older
no, I think
people
it's
or
not
married
about that.
people.
I think it's not about that. I think in some cultures, like even like in our African culture, when you reach a certain age, there's certain things you don't do,
Yeah, that
because it's like you are above that, you know. So that is why there would probably be a age restriction, because it's like I
yeah,
say,
but,
in the culture, it's not saying you're not beautiful. It's just saying, hello, you are above that.
yeah,
You are an adult. You know,
yeah.
you
So
focus on other things. You
yes,
know.
so that directly means you are being discriminated, even though you know that you don't want to think that you are old, that you still think that you are able to do this. But then if the country say no, we won't allow you because to us, once you are 50 above, this is not your cup of tea. That's discrimination. I think that's what they don't want.
Yeah,
That's what they
now
that is
for
what
me as an African, I don't see that as discrimination. If, let's say, for example, I mean, me as a les is different, but let's say as African, because in the culture, like when you are a mother, there is certain ways you behave. Not even the government will tell you, but you just know. There's certain things you don't do. You don't go walk around, although I'm not like that, but you don't walk
so
around with your backside
that is
hanging
the so
out,
yeah that
with
is
your
the
stomach hanging out. You
yeah
know, it's just
but
or if you're a married woman, the way you carry yourself is different from when you are single. Like when you're married, you're not going to go clubbing. Again, I'm different, but I'm just saying that people don't, you know, there's certain behavior. So sometimes, so what they will do is they will put that in, like, let's say if it was for this, uh, let's say for Miss Universe, they would put their culture in there as well, to say, oh, we only want women
so
between 18
yeah
and 30 to participate, because at that time you are free, you need to explore, you need to go around the world. But after that, you need to settle down, you know,
yeah
take care of your
but
family.
that's the old mentality lah, you know. To me that's the
Mhm.
old mentality, and mentality has changed. So if let's say African countries still holds that holds that mentality, that means it is discrimination. The society is discriminating women because there are women. I mean, for example, let's say in Africa, there's this beautiful woman. She was rat racing for the first 40 years of her life until she's 40. You know, she's still beautiful at 40. And then at 40, she got married. And then because she was trying to climb the corporate ladder, she didn't even have time to think about taking part in a beauty contest. Then suddenly at 45, she's married. She has like one kid who's 4 years old, a very supportive husband. And then she said, no, now they have already opened the age to higher than whatever age. I'm 45, I still look good. I think I want to take part. So
Yeah.
would why would that woman be not allowed to? You know
Yeah.
what I
So
mean?
I feel exactly the same way you feel about that, about the
Yeah.
height, because that is
Mm. Yeah.
blatant discrimination. Because
I mean, but
height,
then like
you cannot
yeah,
control your height. You can control your weight. You can control. Oh yeah, okay. The other
but then
thing
the
is,
height. the issue is quite resolved because there is a competition for someone shorter. People who are
Yeah,
shorter, there
there
is a,
are
yeah,
competitions for older women as well. There are. There
yeah,
are also competitions for trans women,
yeah,
beauty pageants, which is just for trans women,
yeah.
right?
So, but then now, if they want to open it up, I think to me, I feel it's good. It's a very benevolent thing to do,
Yeah, and
you know.
I feel it would also be benevolent if they open the competition to people shorter than 168 and also to disabled people. Because sometimes
Yeah,
you're just disabled because maybe you are blind. You can still look good, you just can't see, or you can't hear. I mean, even you can't hear, you can still walk up and down the what is this thing? The ramp and
catwalk.
pose and look nice and have a nice body. You just can't hear.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Um,
probably. I
but,
mean,
but then I guess
probably
you
if
cannot do the work,
yeah,
you know, the
probably
promotional work.
if probably if they those advocates from those group of people advocate strongly, maybe who knows, like in the future these rules will change again, right?
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean we never would imagine that these rules would be introduced, because
right. So
when I first heard it, and then when I first heard it, and they said that, oh, we are opening it to married women, and I was like, but I thought we have the Mrs. Universe competition, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, they already had
Mm,
misses. Yeah,
yeah. But then
that's why I said,
on the other hand, probably because to them, why would you want to have so many group when at the end of the day everyone is women?
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's my point. Why having a Miss Petite when she can also be? Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because now that trans women are allowed in
Benjamin
the
is
Miss
watching.
Universe.
Hi, Benjamin.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, hi. Yeah, you know, now the other thing is now that we know that trans women are allowed in the beauty pageant. So the next question for me would be, how much cosmetic surgery then is allowed? Because
Yeah,
if the trans woman is coming in with all that cosmetic surgery, then it should also be allowed for everybody,
but
which at the moment
I
is not
think,
allowed.
it is an unsaid thing that cosmetic enhancement has been has 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 not say has been allowed, has been uh not
It's not allowed.
been
If it's obvious,
not
it's not allowed.
has
It's not
not
allowed.
been made an issue. Because
Yeah,
I
because it's not
understand.
allowed.
No, 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 no,
Even if
no.
you
I
have like
think
a small nose job, you have to write, and then they have to see how much. Whatever you've done, it has to be within a certain breast definitely out. You cannot participate. Well, this is what I know because I had a friend who entered in South Africa, and she was not allowed to participate because she had breast augmentation. Not
so. I don't know.
allowed.
I mean, like, yeah,
And false
probably.
hair is not allowed.
What?
False hair, it's
Wigs
not
and
allowed.
all, yeah.
Yeah, all that is
Mm.
not allowed. It's because you have to be natural. And this is the other thing. I always thought Miss Universe or Miss World was about natural beauty. You know, like you are just fortunate you were born like that.
Mm.
Of course, maybe you work a little bit, uh, but now if it's like I say now, if it's open like this, then it can be as especially like if you're involving married women and of all ages. For sure, the older ones, this facelifts gonna be going on and nip tucks and abs. It's gonna become crazy. You know what I mean? Because that's what I
We'll
would do.
see.
I
Yeah.
would do if South Africa's opening it. I'm gonna go there. They say I must live for there for 6 months. I will live for 6 months, and I will do all the surgeries necessary.
Yeah. Try. If it is okay, then
But
probably we
I would
should
do it
try.
just for
I guess
fun, not
I guess
to
the
win. Just,
I guess the underlying message is you strive to be the best. If
mm-hmm.
it's a beauty is if beauty is what you're striving to be,
Actually,
if
yeah.
beautiful is what you're striving to be in life, then go all out, even if it means that you have to have a nose job or skin lightening or whatever, you know. I mean,
But in the competition, how much of that is now going to be allowed? Because I don't know if you watched my video. Because even
yeah,
in
but
my
then
video, I said these days everything is so fake. I mean, look at Kim Kardashian. She's fake from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet.
yeah, but that's what people like. So I guess
The
Miss
beauty
Universe is
standard,
just going. I guess Miss Universe is just following the
following
trend
the
too.
trends. Yes,
You know,
yes,
the
I think so.
trend and making money.
Hmm.
You know, because at the,
Hmm.
yeah, you know, because let's say, I mean, let's say, I mean, I know, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to look at ugly people. I mean, like, but I think in general, people want to look beautiful. People want to look at beautiful people. You
Yeah,
know,
because it's art.
I
It's
mean,
like art.
it, it no, it's a fantasy.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. It's an outlet. It's an escape. You know,
Hmm.
so if if many people uh wants to be, and not many people get to be an actress, for example, an actor, a female actor, you know, like not many people will get to do that, you know. uh, so maybe the next step that they would be able to live the fantasy is through beauty pageants, right? You know,
Hmm.
which for me is fine, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody needs that feel good thing in
Right,
life,
right. Yeah, no,
you
I
know. So
understand you. Yeah.
let's say if one beauty contestant can inspire the whole nation, not only to be beautiful but to be proud of
And
that nation.
graceful. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So I think I think that's maybe part of the part of that beauty pageant aura, you know, because it unites people through beauty, right? You know, as much as people will unite through sports, you know, people will unite through math convention.
Yeah,
People will unite. People will get orgasm by solving some mathematical equation. You know, what I mean, like,
mm, mm,
so
mm,
that
mm.
outlet. You know, so I guess it's it's fair uh, that the beauty pageant is given that kind of like not only respect, that kind of um
Recognition?
what's the word? No,
No.
like like give it, what's that word, give it due respect, you know what I mean. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
things that, yeah, the things that like because I mean, I'm not really big into beauty, but then I understand because I have been in that situation before, you know, and how the moment when someone is beautiful, people will just automatically think they are brainless, or they are just there for the whimsy flimsy thing, you know, which is not. You know, it is also an attribute, which is a good attribute, I think, you know. So, and but unfortunately for beauty pageant, it's the easiest one, is the most visual one to be criticized. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because like a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah,
people, like I said, because like I said right from the beginning, it takes a lot
yeah.
of effort and a lot of work to look beautiful.
Mm.
You know, I mean, to have that personality of a beautiful person, it does. You know,
I think what
you.
the criticism comes because not so much because of the actual pageant, but because it's a competition. You know,
But then on the
because
other hand, a sports event is also a competition.
yeah,
But
but that's
then
different because
no,
it's not.
it's not different. It's not different, Celeste.
No, it's
You see,
different because
the
one is
amount of work,
talent, one is talent, and one is appearance. So it's very
but
different
it's
because it's like
not.
you feel like I never feel sorry for like when gymnasts are competing, but when that's why I say I don't watch pageants because every girl that walks I feel is beautiful, is graceful, is elegant. You know, I'm vouching for each one, and then I feel so sad when only one is picked because as far as I'm concerned, that just the fact that they were on the stage is already, you know. So I
Yeah,
think.
but then, But then that's the
That's
whole
really
thing. But that's the thing that people don't see. To be able to walk that graceful takes a lot of learning too. Not everybody is born to walk gracefully, even for beauty contestant. That one you have to know. Not every beauty contestant is born eloquent. Not every beauty contestant is born to give that look. You know, those are all learned. You know, those are all. I mean, if they do, they must have that innate talent and ability. So that's what I meant by when I said people think it is so trivial that the way
It's
she
just,
the way
I
she
understand.
the way she rolls her eyes, it's not natural. You have to have that talent to roll your eyes in a certain way. But because it's so minute, people think like, oh, they're not nothing like sports people, or sports people have to like strenuous exercise and things like that. But sports people can't roll their eyes like that. It takes an extra talent for them to be able to flip their hair, you know. So these are all the things that I said, the work, the effort that takes to be that ultimate beauty persona. You know what I mean? But then like, again, people, because a lot of people don't think of it as a lot of work. You know, people think like, oh, they're
But
like
then
that. They
again,
were
like
born
I
like
said,
that.
the beauty standard, like, is set by whom? Because, like, maybe in some cultures,
I guess I
what is
guess it,
it's
I guess it's
different.
the same thing. I guess it's the same thing. Who sets the beauty standards as much as
It's the
who sets
society,
who sets the sporting standards?
the athletes. Because
Yeah,
when you
you know,
run, they put 100 meters, and then your body, if you can run it in 9.4 seconds, you set it. But when it
yeah.
comes to beauty
So,
standards, you don't set
so
it. The society sets it, because they will say, now the in thing is big butts. You know, when the it's out of proportion, it's so ugly, but that is the look. I just saw a woman today. Oh my goodness, she looked like a sofa fell on her back.
yeah. So
It was so big and unnatural.
yeah. But who knows? She might have aspiration to not want to look like that, right?
But
You
she
know, it's just that
looks like that. She made herself look like that.
you see,
She
you
went for
have you
the
have you
BBL.
have you have you seen that it's like a show. It's a Thai show. Where they take like the most horrifying looking people, and then they
Like a
give
makeover.
like a makeover.
Yeah.
You know,
I haven't seen the Thailand one, but I've seen
yeah.
others,
So
yeah.
that when I saw that, it made me realize that people do take beauty seriously in certain parts of the country, in
Mm-hmm.
certain parts of the world. You know, to them, it's nothing to be ashamed if you want to look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what is beautiful? This. You know,
Yeah,
and
the standards
don't
is set
apologize for
differently.
it. Don't apologize for it if you want that kind of nose, if you want that kind of eyes,
Mm-hmm.
if you want that kind of hair. Don't apologize for it, because if you want it like that, that is how it is. You know, as much as it is that if you want to run 100 meter and win, then this is what you have to do. You have to train, you have to have your muscles, you have to have your speed, your power, then you will get your 100-meter medal. But if and then and in the beauty world, if you want to be in the middle, waving at people, wearing a crown, these are the things that we will look for. You know, let's say if someone is like a weakling, 100 pounds, and then say, I want to run 100 meter and I want to win. Yeah, go ahead. But can you? You know? So in a beauty pageant, say, I have this bulbous nose, my hair is dry, I have freckles, but I want to win beauty pageant. Sure, you can take part, but will you? You know what I mean? Will you get that title
Mm.
as much as that
But
weakling?
I think the difference is in natural and unnatural. Because for the athlete to be able to run in 9.4 seconds, the only way he or she can do that is in a natural way. You cannot take performance enhancement uh, drugs. You have to actually gym. You cannot go and have surgery. Everything is natural. But if the beauty is unnatural, like example, I just use Kim Kardashian just because
Yeah,
that's the only person I can think of.
but then those are
It's all
okay. Then we
unnatural.
let's say we separate those two categories.
Mhm.
Okay, when you talk about natural and unnatural, someone who is born doesn't have muscles to be able to run 100 meters for 9.5 seconds whatsoever.
But you
You know,
can train.
that someone have to train. That is unnatural to
No,
me
training
because
is not
you,
unnatural because running is natural.
no, running is natural, but to train your body to be able to have all the extra muscles so that you will have all the extra strength to run, that's not natural. Because if you talk about natural, you were born whatever you are. You know, unless that baby was born with all the muscles, then that's a natural baby
No, and
that goes
actually,
up to
no,
you.
actually,
So, so,
to
so
be
wait,
to be
hold
a
on.
runner,
Hold,
you are born with that type of. Because I used to be an athlete. I am a long distance runner. I cannot sprint because my body is not made for sprinting. I'm a long
yeah.
distance runner.
But then
You
on the
see,
other hand, if you so choose to be a sprinter, then they will
no,
tailor.
I train, but I cannot. I can be
Yeah,
good, but I would never be
because you don't
fantastic.
want to. Yeah, because you don't want to. But let's say
No, I
if there's
want to, but
one,
I cannot.
okay,
My body, even for
so,
ballet, my
okay,
physique is not. It's not equipped. And the
okay,
only way I can make it equipped is I have to go for surgery, but which I don't do. I
okay.
didn't do.
Let's say if that one person, taking back the point where that person is the long distance runner, and then
Mm-hmm.
that person say, I think I want to go for short distance running. Then the coaches or the sports science people will tailor the specific workout regime, a diet, and everything else for this person, because this person wants to do short distance, to be able for that person who so supposedly naturally doesn't is not able to be able to do short distance running. So that's not natural already, because
No, it's
it
natural
is being
because the way he achieves it is by natural. It's by there's no
no, no.
injecting, there's no
Okay,
surgery. It's
yeah.
just by working, working, working.
So that's what I said. We separate the two categories. In sports, the whatever that is biologically not natural is
You
being
can
is being
enhance.
no wait, whatever that is biologically natural can be enhanced through the natural way. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the accepted way in sports. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but in beauty, okay, whatever enhancement that you do, even if it is plastic surgery with certain guidance, then it will still be considered okay. So you cannot put these two categories and say that one is unnatural and one is natural, because at the end of it, for me, at the beginning of it, for me, both are not natural, because when you're born, you don't have muscles in sports, and when you're born, you don't have like
Big
sharp
breast
nose
or
or
big
big
breast.
breast.
Let's say big
Yeah,
breast.
in the beauty pageant. So when you think about it, both are actually not natural. So how can you say one is natural and one is not? Because I don't think the runners had all the muscles and energy when they were born, but they do all the exercise, which is not natural. But then of course it's a not medically enhanced lah, so that's the key word. One is naturally enhanced, one is medically enhanced, but then it doesn't mean that both are unnatural, because both are not that, but that doesn't mean that one is naturally accepted and one is not, because depending on which group you are, if this group requires you, the beauty group requires you to do it, then if it's accepted, then it is accepted, whether it is medically or whatever. But in here, if you if they have accepted that you have to have like 10,000 pounds of muscles so that you can run fast, then it is accepted, even though it's not natural for a human being to have 10,000 pounds of muscles. You know what I mean? So you have to not like discriminate, or this one is so unnatural because they have like
Yeah, I
medically.
know what you mean, but I totally
Yeah.
disagree. I
Okay.
totally disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because for me, natural is not Kim Kardashian, because I've seen black women with the same size butt as hers, and theirs is natural. They were just, they grew, they were born, they grew, and their back became, their backside
Yeah.
is just big and firm because the kind of work they do, they walk a lot, they carry the big thing on their head, it's natural. They acquired that kind of physique by doing, it's like also men, when they're chopping, they get big muscles. It's because there's two things. There's a working body and then there's a worked body. Like these people who go to the gym, that's a worked body. But let's say David Beckham, his legs, Cristiano Ronaldo, because they're always kicking ball, their legs is working legs, like ballet dancers. The whole body is a working body. So they acquire their physique, the shape of their physique, because their body's working. They're not going to the gym and work the body, so even in there will be that discrepancy. But anyway, coming back
Yeah.
to beauty pageants. So the other thing I wanted to ask you, let's say a trans woman does win Miss Universe. So I know Miss Universe has to go around the world doing charity work or something, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think a lot of countries, do you think a lot of countries will accept this? And if they don't, how do you think the pageant committee is going to work around this?
I think they will just follow the template of singers, because some singers are not allowed to enter some countries, for example, like Malaysia, so if
Like
if
which
the
singer?
if, like all those singer who would like be asked to not show too much and things like that. I mean,
But I
for
think
example,
that's different because that's just clothes. I mean, like,
no, no,
let's say if Madonna wanted to come, they can just tell her, don't be too outrageous. Then she
yeah, but
just won't be
then
outrageous.
Madonna say, let's just skip the country because the country
But
has
if you
too
are
much
Miss
to do with.
Universe and you're doing charity work, how does that work? Because you see, singers are not doing charity work. They are normally
Yeah,
it's for
but then on the other
it's for
hand,
profit,
on
self
the other
profit.
hand, the country, if they don't allow, even though it's for charity, how much can the organization ban? If you don't think this is charity in line with your morality, then
Mm-hmm.
we'll just skip. I mean, maybe we won't
They
badmouth
they
you.
will just give the proceeds to the country, but
Yeah,
they won't go there.
I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah, because I
probably
was
they will
thinking
not
about
even.
that.
And then
How
and
do
then
they navigate that?
for the country that will not allow, they would probably say, oh, we don't probably need charity from you anyway. There
Yeah,
are
that's
countries that are
true.
like
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
quite
yeah, that's
arrogant,
true.
like we
Like
don't
Dubai,
like
for
you.
example, they're so
Yeah,
rich.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, like so instead of like having tension between this and that, just be it. Like we are doing this for charity, but if you don't want, fine. And then the country say, if this is the person doing the charity, we don't even need it,
yeah.
because we can do it in our own way, So it's just ego lah, kan,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, like I said, like the performance. A lot of performers, when they go for world tour, mm, Malaysia is like not even considered. Like for example, like like Kylie Minogue. You know, she has been performing in Bangkok like almost every time she has a concert, and she's performing again in Bangkok. And then I read the comment, oh, why not Malaysia? And then I didn't say anything, but in my heart I was like, duh,
But
you
why
know.
not? Why won't she perform in Malaysia?
I don't know why, but then it's quite obvious that she's not gonna compromise her
Her
performing
performance.
standards. Yeah, her
Mm-hmm.
performance. You know, I mean, if I'm known to be, let's say if I'm her, this is how I am. If you don't want to accept me, I don't mind not performing in your country. You know, I
Mm.
go to wherever people wants me. Why would I want to create tension when I'm performing for happiness? You know, right or not? I mean,
Yeah, because I
like,
never
so
heard
is that?
about her. I actually have to look into that. Do you think it's because of her costumes or what?
I guess
Because
so. I mean,
her music is quite. Her music is
I
like
mean,
just
in the
because Mariah Carey came.
in Malaysia is usually visual lah. You know, it's usually visual because for the longest time there's no ballet, but recently supposedly they had Swan Lake perform in Istana Budaya or something.
But you know,
But for the longest,
They had the Bolshoi Ballet Company one time.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
but
but I
for
remember,
example,
yeah, it was quite a big thing. Yeah, they didn't want
yeah,
the ballet.
that like to show legs, to show skin. You know, I mean, so I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess the question is so obvious, you know, the moment you show skin or even hair, and then why bother, right or not? I
Mm.
mean, it's just because, like, for example, those artists who skip Malaysia, they would probably think like, oh, if Malaysian fans wants to go, I'll perform in your neighboring
Singapore.
country, you know,
Yeah.
like Singapore, like recently Taylor Swift performed like what 10 concerts in Singapore, you know, and
No,
not
but
even
I think Taylor Swift's one I know because she is a feminist, and I know she said that Malaysian women are oppressed. This one I
yeah,
know because I was in the online in the women's Malaysian. There was few expats
mm,
that time talking online, and they were very upset because Malaysian women don't think they are oppressed. I mean, I don't know. I don't see that they're
but
oppressed, but anyway,
but
these women were
but
saying, "Who the hell does she think she is? We are not oppressed." But
but
anyway,
then to be angry to Taylor Swift just because she thinks Malaysian women are oppressed, those people who are angry are actually blur. Because the main reason is because Taylor Swift's concert shows too much
too much
skin
skin.
to be approved
Mm.
for
But
performance here.
when Mariah Carey performed here, how did she get away with it?
She wore dresses, and Mariah
Oh yeah,
Carey
but
never
she always
showed.
wears elegant dresses though, eh? So yeah,
Yeah,
she's never like
yeah,
yeah, she's always very elegant. Even
yeah,
Paula Abdul performed, but in that time Paula Abdul was always that was in the 90s. She used to wear all those kind of like hip hop style,
yeah.
not very. Did Janet Jackson ever perform in Malaysia? No
No,
way.
I don't think she ever had the desire to come because it will just
No,
go
she did
straight.
because remember when Michael came, she wanted to come, but then th- there was no place to accommodate even just him. There was no space. There was no stadium big enough just to even accommodate him. So with two big stars on stage, it was not possible. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know. Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
like
no, I just
so like
wanted to ask about that.
so I think when it comes to the world visits of the beauty pageant winner, I think the organizers is is smart enough not to create
To catch out.
controversy.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't
controversy.
want us, fine. You know, there are other countries that needs charity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and tell me, what about Thailand? What are the rules for the Miss Universe Thailand? Are the lady
I
boys
don't
allowed
know.
to attend, to
I don't know.
participate? Oh
Do
yeah,
you,
but
do you know
they're
what?
not female, right?
Do
They
you
are
know
not. They
what?
are lady boys.
Do you know what? Surprisingly, honestly, I'm not really like into all this beauty pageant to begin with. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
like, yeah. I mean, maybe I was, but at the moment, I'm like, whatever. I don't even keep track
Yeah,
of
I'm
who
not into it
and
just because it's my work.
yeah,
I have to do all the controversial
yeah.
stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't even
But
have
but then,
cared about it.
yeah. So I mean, but I don't look down at them. I mean,
Yeah,
they are
no,
still doing good
that's
work.
what they do.
So
Yeah, no, it's
so
good.
but
They do.
like going back to your question, I don't know the details, but judging no, but based on the criteria uh legally identifying as female, then I guess there won't be any trans women from Thailand, because in Thailand, their identification is very much like Malaysia. It will always be male,
Yeah.
even if
Okay.
they're male, even if they have gone through everything. So
But
probably
even they will tell you, I'm a lady boy. I'm not a woman.
I don't
I've
know.
met so many. Yeah, a lot of my friends there, they will be like, I'm not a woman. I'm a lady boy. Because like lady boy is more special than a woman, which I guess it is.
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, because I know even when was that one Christmas I went to watch they were having like a beauty pageant in one of the clubs, and the I was just asking. I said, why can't I participate? They said, if you're not a lady boy, you can't participate. I said, yeah, but just for fun. They said, no, 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 no. This is for lady boys only. Then I said, but
Mm,
we are all women. They said, no, no, we're not women. We are lady boys.
yeah.
And
So
anyway, fabulous looking lady boys. Oh my
yeah.
goodness, so beautiful. Yeah. Even the Simon's Cabaret show.
Mm,
Like I was not allowed to. I wanted to even just to choreograph. I said no. It's because
yeah.
they need to take care of those people in the community. So if I go in there, I take away the job, which makes sense.
Mm,
Like I'm taking away a job from someone who needs, someone from that community who needs that job.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Thailand is very strong
yeah.
in
They're very
thinking about
supportive of the
supporting.
community. Yeah,
Yeah.
very. They were like, no, you're not coming here and taking away jobs from our people. Nope. They
Mm,
had the same thing with the Russians. When the Russian girls were all coming there doing the agogo stuff,
mm,
they were like nope, this is not
yeah.
for you. This is for our boys, our lady boys. You're not doing this. Yeah.
Mm, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is good. Yeah, okay. So I think, yeah, because that was the last thing, because I just wanted to ask about what is beauty, which we spoke about. So yeah, always nice talking to you, Dara. And Benjamin, thank you so much for watching. Always
Yeah.
my
I mean, I
my
wish
good
he
friend.
would be like joining us for the chat
For
instead.
that, yeah, he would know about all these things, the beauty pageants and stuff, and how it's. But so, thank you so much, Dara.
Sure, no
And
problems, Angela.
when anything else comes up again, because you are the only person I can talk to about this.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the next research you should do would be the Miss India one, because there are three
yeah,
transgender in the Miss India,
yeah,
and
and
then
because
see,
India
yeah,
also has a lot of people with this DSD, disorder of sex
yeah,
development, the intersex
but
people, a lot.
yeah.
Oh my
The other
goodness.
day, I saw one video of one of the contestant, beautiful, you know. That's how I know that they have three trans women in the current Miss Universe India. I
But in
think
India, they have three genders. They have male,
yeah,
female, and
the
trans.
trans,
It's a
yeah.
recognized gender,
Mm.
because I
So
think because in India there's just too many of them.
yeah, so I guess it's just a natural progression that they allow, and they welcome the fact that now Miss Universe allows trans women, because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And like I always say, I don't have an issue with, because I'm not a beauty pageant contestant, but I don't have an issue. In sports, I have a big issue. But in things like this, I don't have an issue, but I want it to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want it to be fair. So, like example, in the language, they must be fair.
Mm.
In the amount of surgery or whatever, it has to be fair, because if we are supposed to be women, then all women must be included, and it has to be fair for all women. So height, weight, natural, not natural, blah, it has to be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Understand.
then I don't support it. Because, I mean, what's the point? You know, just
Yeah.
be fair to everybody. But like in
So,
sports, I know it's not possible to be fair. It's impossible. But when it comes to like things like this, I'm all for it as long as there's fairness and everybody is happy.
yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
thanks so much,
You're
Dara,
welcome.
and thanks for watching. If any comment you want to make, please type down below. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.
So you will
Until
be
next.
putting this on the other
I put on
platforms?
YouTube, and yeah, and when I do my classes, or when I do my online activism, you know, like when I have to talk with other women, like this one will be talking, the one I told you about, the female issue that's going to be coming up. I will play this. Yeah.
Okay. Can.
Okay. Cheers. Bye bye.
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 How do you stop?